Alright, so I thought to do something a little bit different this year. I normally just kind of have like this hour-long video where I kind of like go through all the movies that were released in the year and say like, I saw it, I didn't see it, and here's my 2 cents, and I liked it, I didn't like it. Anyway, so I'm thinking of doing two separate videos. I guess I'll do top 10 of what I feel are the best movies of 2015, and then I'll do one of the worst, and this is the best. And before I go on, thanks for the 50 or so subscribers I have. Awesome. I really didn't think I'd really, in all honesty, get past like the 5 that I had, because those were my friends, and then now I have random people, so that's awesome. you know. Anyway, here you go. So, yes, best movies. Number 10, It Follows. Now, this is like a little indie film. I actually think it was technically made in 2014, but it was released this year. I heard like through people like, hey, you should see this, actually pretty good, yada yada. It stars that same girl who was in The Guest, which, God, I feel bad for her. that she has to constantly deal with these like shit happening. But It Follows, like, it works well. It's like a thriller kind of thing. It works well because it gives you that creep factor. You actually care about the characters in there. This movie definitely makes you, kind of think about the next person you sleep with. Just saying. Alright, number 9, Dope. I didn't get to see that in the theaters, but once I finally did, I was really glad I saw it. It's about like 3, kind of nerdy friends who very much, love the 90s, since really they didn't grow up during that time. It's pretty much like their journey, and normally this would seem kind of like cheesy, but so many movies out there do the whole like, these are white kids in suburbia and their time in high school and just how like bad it is, and and I never found that relatable. This one I definitely related to more because of like my experience in high school is very similar to this, minus drugs that happened in this movie. I didn't really sell drugs, nor did I suddenly make a lot of money, but anyway. But the camaraderie of like the friendship and all that stuff, the way how they were, and like the kind of people they deal with is obviously a lot different than, like I said, the normal generic like white suburban kind of thing. This shows how very, very intelligent these kids are, and how they very much are like, they're not what people like stereotype them to be, which is great, and this kind of movie was like, the soundtrack was great. It was done by Pharrell, so of course the music was good. You got Forrest Whitaker, who narrates the movie. You got these 3 like kind of unknown kids as the lead, and you really care about them. It's great. I really enjoyed it. Alright, number 8, The Martian. That I saw later on, and because I enjoyed it, I didn't really do much of a review. It probably would have just been like a 5-minute review of me being like, yeah, this is cool, I want to check out the book. Anyway, Matt Damon, I've joked around when I first saw the trailer for this that, oh, this is Matt Damon's mission during Interstellar, because also Jessica Chastain's in it. I enjoyed it. Fun sciencey stuff, It made sense. Sean Bean's in it. Donald Glover is in there all of a sudden. Like I said, I enjoyed The Martian. Number 7, Straight Outta Compton. I love this movie. Like I said, I saw it later and I had to like put a review out because of just how much I enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm a big fan of NWA. I know I don't look like it, and I know behind me are posters of metal bands and all that shit, but I really am. Like I said, where I grew up is very like a lot of huge like hip-hop scene and all that stuff, and I still really love hip-hop, especially a lot of the older stuff. Again, what I grew up on. And this story didn't like, they definitely didn't like sugarcoat a lot of things. They showed, like I said, that Suge Knight was a loose cannon. They showed a lot about like their struggle like in school, as how they grew up, people they knew, the rise to fame, and then like, who they are now and how well known like they are now and all that stuff. And it was great to see it. And again, having these, just like Dope, and having these like unknown actors play these known characters, it definitely helped out a lot, because then it's not like, and I think I said this in the review, it's not like when you watch the Notorious, movie where you're like, oh, it's Anthony Mackie as Tupac, and it's just kind of like, you can't see yourself kind of doing that, where you got Ice Cube's kid as Ice Cube, so you're like, fuck it, he looks exactly like him. But yeah, I definitely love this one. It's great, and of course, duh, they use their music in it, so it just like it was like floods of memories back of when I like would just like cool, I love rap, 90s, but I definitely enjoyed it a lot, and I feel like even for people who probably aren't into like hip hop or rap, to watch this movie to under like it also like besides just like the rap career and all that, the rise to fame kind of movie, it also talks about, it's like a social commentary about like that shit happened then and the shit still happens now, All right, number 6, Crimson Peak. I'm a huge Guillermo del Toro fan, so not that I automatically love this movie. Of course, I love the story. It was very simple. Like I said in the review, that normally Guillermo does a lot of like movies that deal with monsters, and in this one, the monsters were the people, which was kind of cool, And of course, costumes and sets, and Guillermo got that shit down. He knows how to do his shit, so that was really good. It was fun, even though like Glee and I, when we watched it, we kind of were like kind of riffing it, but it's like an enjoyable thing where the movie's good where you could kind of do that, not where it's like, ugh, fuck. Number 5, The Gift. That movie just, oh yeah, that movie surprised me. I was like, oh yeah, it's a movie with Jason Bateman and Joel Edgerton, and he plays kind of like a creepy guy, and it's like, all right, like at face value, it just seemed like, oh, it's a home invasion movie, but it's more than that, and you find yourself hating Jason Bateman, which is weird because he usually plays kind of like the lovable guy in movies. Joel Edgerton plays such a creepy guy that you're just like, oh, and the movie, just like the way how it develops and that ending that you didn't kind of like expect and all that stuff, it was really good. Like there's not a lot of movies out now that are like kind of on the thriller horror side that doesn't make you just go, and this is one of them. Like just like with It Follows and all that stuff, like you got these characters that you care for, and it's all like just, oh my god, yeah. But this one, it's pretty high up on the list mainly because of that ending. Number 4, Kingsman, Secret Service. Now, this movie came out that same weekend of 50 Shades of Grey, so obviously I didn't see it in theaters, and I had to watch it when it came out in video. This was fun. Like, if you like that old, kind of like, the old school James Bond movies, yeah, this was great, and you just see, like, it's Colin Firth kicking ass, you got the young guy, and it's supposed to be like this kind of academy for, like, a James Bond kind of academy kind of shit, and now it's fun. Like, it's a very fun movie, and it's just, like, things get a little bit, like, OD, but, like, fine now where you're like, oh my god, this is so ridiculous. Like, people are fighting, and there's guns, and people are dying, and then there's cool technology, and it's one of those, like, it's a fun movie, and it was a lot better than I expected. Like, I thought I was gonna go into it thinking, oh, it's just, like, it's a fun action film, so it's like, you watch it and then that's it. But it's like, wow, I actually give a fuck about this. And I think they're gonna start filming, like, a sequel soon as well. Number 3, Sicario. Holy fuck. This movie came out of nowhere. I saw, like, some people posting it on Tumblr, and all I kept thinking was, like, oh shit, Emily Blunt with a fucking, like, assault rifle? Fuck yeah, I want to go see this movie. And this movie is amazing. It's like she's, like, in the FBI or something, or, like, DEA or one of those things. And it has to do with a lot of, like, drug cartels in Mexico and all that shit, and, like, she's very, like, by the book, and you got people who, like Josh Brolin and shit, who aren't really by the book, and all that shit. You got Benicio del Toro playing, like, this scary fucking guy. And I have to say, in this movie, there were so many times, like, I jumped, because, like, a lot of movies, especially with, like, action scenes and all that stuff, or whatever not, you could kind of predict when, like, a gun is gonna get shot, and, blah, blah, blah. But this, it's like, there would be someone, like, speaking mid-word, and they get shot, you're like, holy fuck, you're like, oh my god. And even at one point where you feel that, at any point anyone can die in this movie. Not just like, oh well, they're the main character, or like they're one of the known actors in the movie. Nothing's gonna happen to them. But like in this one, you're like, oh my god, like just watching it made me go like this, like, oh, because I was seriously like, my heart was like pounding like crazy, just like, oh my god, what's happening with Emily Blunt's character? Holy shit, what the fuck is Benicio del Toro doing? And what the fuck, Josh Brolin? Like, it was just like very like, fuck, shit, that kind of stuff. And fuck yeah, I definitely like this movie. And oh my god, like, there's so many like beautiful shots in the movie. Like, there's this one part where it was like the great magic hour where the sky was like purpley pink with blue, and it was like amazing sky, and it's like the silhouette of the people going in for a mission. It was like this, like, when it was like, oh my god, like, you know, kind of moments, you're like, that was amazing. Like, fuck yeah. Number 2, Ex Machina. Man, obviously, I had to make a review out of it after I took a little bit longer to go see the movie, but oh my god, fuck yeah. You know, yeah, of course I laughed about the whole, like, hey, you know, this movie answers the, you know, the age-old question, could you fuck it if you made a robot? But, holy fuck, this movie goes through this whole, like, there's a lot of, like, psychological shit with, like, how you feel of, like, talking to a robot, and if you, you know, like, even if you know it's a robot, but you still, like, all this album, the guy was having, like, Domhnall Gleeson was having, like, an existential crisis with it, and Oscar Isaac was playing, like, this dick, and he kind of didn't really look like himself because the whole shaved head, and it was like, at first you're thinking, oh, well, we know how this movie's gonna end, and then the way how the movie ended, you're like, what fucking, you're like, well, alright, I'll take that, you know? And my number 1 movie of 2015 is Mad Max Fury Road, because holy shit, it has everything in there that I love. 1, it's Mad Max series, so I love the Mad Max series. 2, you know, you have a bunch of women in the movie who are useful, and I know we've said it a lot in the review. Like, they're not just there, they're not just like, I'm just, like, I'm a girl, here's my tits, you know, that kind of shit. You know, you got people, like, everyone's kicking ass. You got practical effects, which I am a huge fan of. Everything was practical. That fucking guitar, you know, flamethrower shit, the fucking, you know, all the acrobatic shit, the explosions, all practical effects. You know, you got, like, these, it had blue filter night, and I was totally fine with it. I'm normally like, oh fuck, it's blue filter. I was okay with blue filter night, you know? It's got all the great elements. You got like, you know, the continuation, I guess, story of Mad Max, and then you got the introduction of Furiosa in it. And it's like, I even hear that they're gonna think about doing like 2 more movies or something, but I don't care. As long as it's awesome like this, fuck yeah. This movie was amazing. I was so happy. And you know, a movie is so good that the entire time Glee and I were watching the movie, we didn't say fuck all to one another. Alright? Because we are assholes and we love to commentate on everything. And during this whole, like, movie, we probably said, like, 2 words to one another, like, oh, yeah, and then just, like, little things like, yeah, right, yeah. Other than that, the entire movie, we are completely silent and just watching it like this, you know? So, yeah. And, yeah. Yeah, so that's my list. Well, I have a couple of honorable mentions, so, that didn't make the list. They were pretty close. So, 1 is Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, because it's just fuck all, you know, like, Jeremy Renner, of course, Simon Pegg, it's just, like, fun Mission Impossible movie. It was fun, it was great, lots of action stuff, Tom Cruise doing Tom Cruise stunts, because he's Tom Cruise, like, fuck it, why not? You know, that was great. The Man from U.N.C.L.E., they probably should have advertised it a lot better, because in the advertisement, it made it seem like, oh, you got Superman and fucking, you know, the Lone Ranger having to team up. It might seem like a buddy cop thing, I don't know. I didn't know it was based off a television show. And then I watched the movie and I was like, this is fucking good. It's got campy moments when it was needed, like, they hit some good points, you know, and the costumes and sets were great and all that shit, and I was like, fuck, I feel like the way how they advertised this movie, like, really fell short. It's actually pretty enjoyable. Alright. And then the last honorable mention is What We Do in the Shadows, which is a movie, which is a comedy, it's a great comedy, about vampires, like, who have, like, a documentary crew who just work, like, you know, their everyday things. So you got, you know, Jermaine from Flight of Conchords there. You got some, like, vampire who kind of look like Nosferatu, all that shit. It just shows how they are, and they're like, oh, we have to have, like, a house meeting. And, like, just realizing that they're vampires, but they're kind of boring. But it's funny because of that, because obviously, like, vampires nowadays are so overly sexualized, or whatever kind of realm, whichever folklore you want to pull in, and they just do it. They're just like, yeah, we're living in, like, New Zealand, we're still wearing, like, frilly stuff, and we're just like, why not, you know? But yeah, that's my top 10 and honorable mentions. Best movies of 2015, and stay tuned for the worst movies. Ugh, that's probably gonna be a longer video. Alright, bye!